Hello guys, welcome to my channel and thanks for watching this video. Any likes or comments or subscribe from your side will be truly appreciated. Thanks a lot. This is the third video of this CSS Simply from A to Z tutorial. In the last video, we have learned how we can have and set border for our tags with different colors, with different styles, and how we can have round borders as you see here, and how we can use margin and paddings to set distances between our tags and the body of our document. So if you don't know it, you can go back and watch the video. In this video, we want to talk about lists and tables. So let's go. First, I go to our tags and I delete everything here so that we start with our new tags and new topics. I save everything here. I go back, refresh. You see that we don't have anything here. So we go to the HTML file and we start. To create a new list, we open a tag and we type OL. And I close the tag. OL means ordered list. And I press enter. This OL, it defines the body of our list. But for the content of the list, we have to use another tag, and this tag is LE. OL and LE, they are together. OL, as I said, is the body, and LE shows the content of the list. Whatever you type here between these LE tags, you can see that in your list. So we type, for example, CSS. One more time. LE, this time HTML. One more time, LE. And PHP, for example. And LE, for example, JavaScript. These things we will see in our list. We create another list, but this time we use UL. With the use of UL tag, you can also create a list, but this one, it is an unordered list. What the difference between these two is, we will see. Again, LE for the content of the list. So I just make a copy paste here because they are the same tags. Sorry. So we have now two lists. The first one OL, the second one UL, ordered list, unordered list. And the content will be these things here that are between the LE tags. So I save everything and we go back to the browser, refresh the browser, and you see that we have two lists here. And that is the difference between the two lists. The first one is an ordered list. You see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It has an order. And the second one is an unordered list. And there is no order here. Okay, but our lists are simple because it is just HTML. And now we want to use CSS to design our list. We go back and we go to our CSS file for design. But before that, we have to set IDs for our tags. About IDs and classes, we have talked in the last video. So if you have forget it, you can go back and watch the videos again. So we set two IDs here and we go to the CSS file. For the first one, curly bracket, we set background color, for example, green, yellow, for example. And for the second one, again, background color, light, for example, salmon. It is up to you. It is design. Any color, you can select any color that you want. I save everything, we go back to the browser, sorry. So I save everything, we go back to the browser and refresh the browser, and you see that we have now colors for our lists. It's okay, but the content of our lists, there is no space between them. So we want to create now a little bit space between our contents. For that, we go back to the CSS, and this time we say, for example, for the first one, LE. I will tell you what it is. We use padding 10 pixel. About the padding and margins, we have also talked before. So if you don't know how it is, you can go back and watch the videos. For the second one, also padding 10 pixel. And I save everything here, go back to the browser, refresh. And this time we have a little bit more space between the content of our list. That's good. Now, suppose that we want to set a background color for the content also. This color that you see here is already the color, the background color of the list and not of the contents. But we can change the background color of this content also. We go back and here, okay, I explain you. Here we have the IDA and LE. IDA means that this tag has the IDA. And after that, we have written here LE. It means that we call this tag, but in this tag, we want to change the design of this tag here. And because of this, we write it like this. The tag and the tag inside that we want to design. Okay, now we use margin. About margin, we have talked about before in one video, so you can go back and watch the video if you have forgot it. I set margin 10 pixel is too much, 5 pixel, for example. Here also 5 pixel. I save everything. We go back to the browser and we refresh the browser. Sorry, I wanted to set background color and not margin, but margin is okay. We let margin here and we change the background color right now. For the first one, we say light, or we say orange, for example. I don't want to design right now. I just want to show you how it is. Background color. This time we say, for example, brown. Okay, we use brown. I save it, we go back, we refresh. You see that the content has also a background color, and this distance that you see here between the content of the list is because of the margin. Margin is 5 pixel. I wanted to set margin after setting background color, but I made a mistake, sorry. So it will be the result. The margin shows us the background color of the list also. Okay, now suppose that you don't want to have any 1, 2, 3 here, but you want to have alphabet, for example. For changing the style of the content of the list, we have another option, and this option will be, for example, we go back to the first tag, and here we say list style type. List style type This time we say upper alpha, for example. And if I save it, and if we go back, you see that now we have A, B, C, D, and we don't have any 1, 2, 3, 4 anymore. So for changing the style of the list, you have to use this property, list, style, and type. For the second one, for example, by default, for the second one, it is these circles. We want to have squares, for example. Here we also use list, style, type, and this time square. I save everything, we go back and refresh, and this time we have squares here. And suppose that you don't want to have anything here. Okay, list style type, you should have type none if you don't want to have anything for the list. I save it, we go back to the browser, and this time you see that we don't have anything here. And suppose that you want to you want also to delete this space here, and as I said, it will be done with the padding. So you can go back and watch the videos about padding and margin. So it is on the left side, we say padding left, and after that we say 0 pixel. We don't want to have any space there. I just save everything by pressing Ctrl and S on the keyboard, and we go back, we refresh, and now we don't have any space here. Okay, the other thing that we can have about maybe about our list is, for example, we want, when we go over the list, we want to change these colors, for example here, or in the first one. We say that, for example, for the first one, A, we have an option for LE, and after that over, curly bracket, background color. The first one, we just check the first one is orange. For example, we want, if we go there, it will be, for example, blue. As I said, blue, sorry. As I said, I don't want to design right now, I just want to show you. I press Ctrl and S and save everything. We go back, we refresh, you see that nothing has happened. But if I go with the mouse pointer over the list, you see that the color will be changed, and it is because of the hover. So I explain you what happens here. We call this tag here. In this case, it is the first one. This is the first list, and we call it, and after that we say that if hover is for the mouse pointer, when you go over any tag with the mouse, you can use hover for changing the background color, the size, the mouse pointer also, and you use hover. We say that LE, this tag, hover, and then after the background color will be blue. It means that when I go over the tag, the background color will be changed. Or you can also use cursor, for example. Cursor, and after that we have some options here. We select pointer. Cursor, change the mouse pointer and into this value. I press Ctrl and S, save the document, we go back, we refresh, and this time if I go back, you see that the pointer will be a hand. But here it does not happen anything. But here the background will be changed, the pointer will be changed, and it is because of hover. You can also change anything that you want. For example, font family. Font family will be fantasy, for example. And it is not the topic for today, but I just want that you know that font family fantasy, and everything is saved. We go back to the browser and I go over. You see that the font will be changed. It is right now this font, but if I go, it will be changed. The font also will be changed. So it is everything, I think, about the lists. You can also have a background image for your list. For example, it will be also nice. For the second one or for the first one, doesn't make any difference. For example, for the second one, we say here it is the second one. Right now we have a background color. We delete that and we say background image. This time we use background image, and after that URL. About all of these things we have talked before, so if you have forgot anything, you can go back and watch the videos. Now we use an image, for example, image 3. I save it. We go back to the browser. I refresh. You see that the background of the list is now, there is no picture. But if we delete this one also, it is for this list, and here we have this background color, and if I delete it, so that you can see the image better. Right now we have image for our list, and you can also change if you want background, for example, background repeat. About all of these things we have talked. Now repeat, for example, and I go back, refresh. This time we have only one image, and this image is for the background for our list. So you can change the background, you can set an image for your list also. Okay, now we talk about tables. For example, I just delete 2 of these list contents so that we can have a little bit more place in our browser, so they are a little bit smaller. And here we want to design a table. Now for designing a table, first we go to our HTML file, and here for the table we open a tag and we type table. So for creating a table, we have to use this tag, and it is simply table tag. And now suppose that as you know, I will explain it like this. As you know, the table has some rows and some columns, and normally the first row is the title of the column. So this time now we want to set the title of our table. We say, for example, TR. TR is for the row. With the use of TR, you can set a row, and after that we say TD. TD, you can use TD, this tag, for the title of the information in your table. We say this time, for example, auto or auto name, for example, and again TD. It will be price, and TD it will be country. For example, we want to create a table about autos, the auto name, the price, and the country. It will be the title of that, and after that we create another row. I will explain you just first. We design our table, and I explain you little by little how it is. This time I use TD. Whatever. So in the first row, this is the first row. TR is for the row, and TAD and TAD, TH and TD are for the columns. But TD is for the title. It shows the text here a little bit bigger and bold. Because of this, I've used it. So whatever here we have, it means that we have 3 columns here. So we define 3 columns here also. And whatever you type here will be showed in the table under the first one. So we say auto name is BMW, for example. Now I don't want to make any advertising for this company. It is just learning. And the price will be, for example, $10,000. And after that, the country will be Germany, for example. Now I save everything here. We go back to the browser and we see what has happened. So you see that we have auto name, we have a price, we have a country, but it is not so nice. What we do is we just add this row to our table so that we can have a little bit more information. And I save it, go back. So we have now 3 rows and 3 columns, and it is our table. But it is not nice. So now we try to design our table, this time with the use of CSS. Okay, we go back to the HTML file. Here we define an ID for our table, and it will be info. For example, ID of the table will be info. And after that, we go to our CSS file and we call the tag here. So what we want to do with our table, first thing, I think it will be better if we try to change the width of our table. For that, so we call the tag, we call our table, and we type width. I say 50%. So 50% means that the half of the browser. So I save it, I go back and I refresh. You see that this time the table is a little bit bigger, and 50% is exactly the half of the browser. And it is but not nice, and we have to work on it a little bit more. So this time we try to set borders for our table. Okay, we go back to the CSS file, and here we type again info, but this time we want to set border for TD and TD. TD and TD are these tags that we have here. First one, the title, and second one for the info. We say border. About the borders, we have also talked before that. And this time I will use the shorthand of border, for example, 1 pixel. And the style will be solid, and the color will be black. And we just save everything here. I go back, I refresh that. You see that our table has now border, or our TD and TD has border. But there is space between the borders and between the rows and the columns. So we want to delete this space here. For deleting this space, we go to the settings for the table itself. For deleting these spaces, we have a border collapse, and after that we say collapse. I save it. We go back to the browser, refresh, and this time there is no space anymore between the tags. So for deleting this space, border collapse must be collapse. So you can delete the space. Suppose that here for the title we want to have a higher title here, so that the title will be different from the other things here. For that, we go to the CSS file. This time we call again our table, and after that we say for our table this tag, and we have option, and that is height. For height we set 35 pixel, for example, and I save it. We go back, I refresh. You see that it is a little bit higher. This thing is the title is a little bit higher than other than other rows here. So with the use of height, how you do it is you call the table with its ID, and you say that in this table for this tag, TD tag, and TD is the title, I want to have a height as much as 35 pixel, or we can have a higher 45 pixel, so the difference will be bigger. Now you can change it. Okay, now suppose that we want that the title has a different color. Now we want to set colors for our table. First, for the title. Okay, here we have changed the height of the title, and this time we change the background color. The background color. Which color? This one. For example, as I said, I don't want to design, I just want to show you. We refresh, you see that the title now has a different color from other part of the table. Okay, I go back to the HTML file and I make one more time, I make a copy paste so that we can have more rows here. One more time, and I just save it, save all, go back. You see that we have now 2 more rows. It's better. Okay. Now suppose that we want to set colors for these rows also, different colors for each row, the different color. We go to the CSS file, and this time we say that we call again our table, and we say that TR are these rows. Here each row is a TR. We say TR and ND child. With the use of this property, you can select either the odd rows or the even odds. So in this case, for the first one, we say odd, and after that curly bracket, and we set a background color. So background color will be light, for example, light pink, maybe. light pink. We say light pink, and I press Control and S. I save everything here. We refresh, and you see that all rows now have a different color, and it is pink. So you can do it for other rows also. And we call our table one more time, and we say from our table the rows we want, and for that and chill, but this time even, because we want that the even rows have another background color. It will be, for example, light blue maybe, or light blue. Yeah, light blue. Okay, we just set light blue for that. I save it, I go back to the browser, I refresh the browser, and you see that the other rows have now a different color. And we can also set the alignment of this text. For that, we say, for example, we want to change the alignment of the rows. Here we have already defined our TR. So, okay. Now we call our table one more time, and this time we say TR, and after that we say text align, for example, center, and Control and S, go back to the browser, refresh. You see that the rows are now in the center of the table. And so like this you can design your table. You can also use the row, you can also use the hover thing for your table, for example. Again, one more time, info TR, we call our table, and after that we say TR, and after that we say hover. If it will be hovered, then the background color will be light, for example, light green maybe. Okay, I press Control and S, save everything, go back, and this time you see that if I hover the table, the color will be changed. So like this, you can also design your table, and I think that's it for this video. Okay guys, one more time, in this video we have learned how we can set, how we can create lists and tables in our HTML document, and how we can design our list and our table, and it is the result of this video. In the next videos we will talk about another interesting things in CSS, or maybe we do a simple project, so it will be interesting. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and that's it.